I can't remember if this is like this actually isn't. No, this isn't my first video on this. The first time I talked about Hogwarts Legacy was when those weirdos fired, or basically he had to resign, I think one of the lead game designers, because it was discovered by these weirdo, I can't remember if it was Kotaku, one of those, they're all in the same, it seems, had reported who they were like following and subscribed to on YouTube, and there was some people that they deem as right wingers, and of course that was too problematic. That was the first time I covered Hogwarts Legacy. But since this recent kind of, I don't know, controversy, whatever you want to call it, this is actually the first time that I have, and I figured I'd give my thoughts. If you watched Tuesday night's main event, you heard me say some of what it is that I'm going to say. I've been asked about it a lot, and it's for complete transparency. I wasn't really that interested in it, especially once I found out that it wasn't an online RPG. I was like, all right, well, I'm kind of out on that. I'm kind of, single player experiences aren't doing it for me anymore, and I have enough of those, let me say that. But because of J.K. Rowling and the last couple of years, really, she has made it abundantly clear where her stance is, and it's not about necessarily hating trans folks. It's more of, she believes there's an obvious distinction between people that are born with born male and born female, right? And that has been problematic because she is a raging leftist herself. Now, to her credit, unlike many other creatives, she seems to have inked deals when it comes to the usage of her properties that she's getting a kickback regardless. Doesn't matter if it's done, if she's part of the entire process and creation of it, she's getting some sort of kickback. And, you know, definitely, well, in this day and age, you hear about Marvel writers and stuff and creatives that are broke and all that. J.K. Rowling has to screw you money, which is why she just, like, she hasn't even remotely let up on this issue, despite the people that, you know, again, she agrees with like on 99% of these issues. She is a raging leftist, but she agrees with on 99% of the issues. Those problems are like, it only took one. And then she got a lot of backlash. She just didn't care. When you got that screw you, but it don't matter. Like, y'all gonna say what you want to say. At this point, at this age of my life, man, I don't care about none of that. And that's her approach. And so I guess I'll give her credit for having the legal counsel really benefiting her. She didn't sell off all the assets, it seems like, to the point to where she's not getting any kickback. Now, of course, because of this, you have people that this game is highly anticipated. And Brianna Wu, who's not a fan of me, we've covered her before. You can go watch my video that I did on her like a year or so ago, because her stupid behind thought that I had a Luke Cage poster because he's black. What an idiot. And yeah, what are you trying to say? But we went through all that. But as she says here, my position on Hogwarts Legacy is clear. I'm boycotting. I think if you care about trans people, you should too. There's another post, I can't remember if it's here, but there's another post where she talks about basically if you know, it's a test. It's a test based on, you know, what your position is on this. If you go out and support it, basically, you know, you're not an ally. You don't support the trans people, because how dare you do that, considering the fact that, well, I don't know where that post is, but whatever. Considering that her positions are where they at. This is my angle, right? Because again, I'm not getting it, so, you know, whatever. And I'm certainly not going to go tell you to buy it, especially after what happened with the whole kind of outing of that lead game designer. I'll say this much. It's a lesson. You hear me use the analogy all the time, like right of Stalin to the right of Bernie Sanders, basically everybody they consider an enemy. It doesn't take much for these ridiculous leftists to turn on you. One subject matter was all that it took. Even though J.K. Rowling is, again, if you follow her and you followed some of her views, you're knowledgeable on some of her views, she's not moderate by any means. And she certainly ain't on the other side. She is a full-blown leftist. And most of the subject matter she agrees with them on. However, this did it. That's it. This one. So that's who you're in bed with. You wonder why some of these people are so miserable. A lot of these creatives, you know, I talk about it all the time how, you know, they have to put on a front because nobody wants to be the guy that has the popularity that, let's say, says something that leftists disagree, that they disagree with. They don't want that. So you get a lot of creatives who, I'm not saying that they aren't leftists, but the only time that it's, you kind of got to just co-sign whatever majority narrative in order to exist and not have them just go after you like that. So you have a bunch of people fronting being people that they actually aren't, or suppressing their general views because they wouldn't dare want to have their that pocket of their audience, which is why they're the worst audience to try to cultivate, in my honest opinion. But they don't want to piss them off. So you know when you hear about people, which I don't believe in that. I'm sorry, this whole burnout thing, or I got to take a couple months breaks from these streamers who stream like freaking a couple of hours every other day or something, and they're like, I gotta take a break, man. That's telling you that look, it is exhausting to be someone that you are not. You know, it really is. And that's why. But they know, you know, they can't say nothing, say anything that's out of line. They can't be somebody. They have to be who the audience wants them to be with these. Definitely, if you're in entertainment, you're streaming, all of that stuff, it doesn't matter. If you're in entertainment, that's the safest bet. Just don't piss them off. But it don't take much. You see that with JK? It didn't take much. All that happened with her was that, hey, man, I just believe there's a distinction, is what she said. And the position it is that she had. And that in itself got her, she's getting ate a lot, I almost say get eaten because, again, she got the screw you money. So what is it? And obviously with Hogwarts Legacy, it ain't like they're actually struggling right now. By all accounts, it's created this more Streisand effect, if anything, where it's benefited the studio, who's WB, is they're the ones making it. But it's benefited them because they're like the number one selling like PlayStation game right now. I believe it was number one on Steam at some given point, and Xbox as well. So they're having people that are even, some of them are even supporting it. I'm not going to do it, but some people are supporting it out of spite. That's what happens when you try to give an ultimatum. But let this be a lesson for you guys that are in the closet. Screw these guys. Yeah, you're gonna get ratioed maybe because some brainlet leftists are gonna post about you. Who cares? It's not real life. It's a lesson. It is certainly a lesson. Wherever you're viewing the content, I appreciate you. If you enjoyed it, you may be interested in my comic book company, Rippaverse Comics. Our first book and campaign, ISOM #1, brought in $3.7 million with tens of thousands of satisfied customers. Visit Rippaverse.com to check out our store and stay up to date with the latest campaigns from one of the hottest new comic book companies. Also, my first big step towards a parallel economy was the development of my personal website, ericdjuly.com. This entirely replaced my Patreon. Now, if you enjoy this content, please consider becoming a member over at the website. We have an ever-expanding list of perks for various membership tiers, a forum, and a phone app. Some of these perks will even benefit you if you're fans of the Rippaverse. Anyway, I appreciate you so much for being a supporter and or customer. I even got a little love for my haters.